Welcome everybody back to boostinmotion, guys, and today we're going to change the serpentine belt on the Q60. Yes, guys, the belt on the Q60 needs to be changed anyway, and we're actually changing belts on both cars, to be honest. But before I get into the video, guys, please go add me at boostinmotion on IG if you guys want to ask me questions, and boostinmotion on Facebook, and boostinmotion at gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to boostinmotion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Alright, so the first thing you got to do if you want to remove your serpentine belt on your Q50 and Q60, you're going to remove all of these tabs, all four of these, 5, 6, and 10. So you can use a regular flathead, pop them up from here, and don't try your best not to break them, but pop them up and just move them, put them over there. That's what I'm gonna do quickly. All right, so the next thing you guys are gonna do once you remove that is, this is the way I do it. It's a little unorthodox. It's this 4 10mm bolts. I want you guys to unbolt all these 10mm bolts, put them to the side, don't lose them. And what we're gonna do is move this apparatus more over to the right hand side. I'm gonna show you why, but let me do this really quickly, and then I'm gonna show you how I have it fixed. Now, there's gonna be another bracket right here connected to this hose. It should be a 10mm bolt. We already removed it. You're also going to allow this to move back left and right, and now we're going to start doing this, moving this to the side. Try your best not to tear the hoses or anything like that. I doubt it. They shouldn't be that undurable, or it shouldn't be able to crack or anything like that. But just push this over, and then I'm gonna show you how it looks. So I want you guys to be very careful about this, but see, I moved this canister to the first bolt here so it can hold it in place and keep everything in place. Just make sure nothing's slipping off or anything, and remember, do not cut anything. Now, this is gonna give you access to this automatic tensioner. I've talked about this in the past. This automatic tensioner, there's a lot of, it has a lot of heavy spring load. Now, if you look down there, there's going to be a little square. I'm going to move the camera down, see if I can try my best to show you guys. See that little square right there on camera? That square right there. That's a 3H drive square. It's right there. So what is a 3H drive? Let me take this off. Show you guys briefly. 3H drive is this square thing right here on the top of the end of your ratchet. 3H drive, that's the size of it. So don't do half drive, don't do a 8th drive or whatever. It's a 3H drive. What you're gonna do is, you're gonna put this drive on that square and try your best to push it in. So the angle I'm at right now is not the best to do it, so you probably have to sit on the passenger side, but once it's in, then I'm gonna show you guys what to do next. Now that you have it here, you might not be able to get it all the way in, but try to get as much of it into the square hole as possible. Now I want you guys to take, either you can do this with a long 2-foot or maybe a 1.5 foot a breaker bar, or just use any slim pipe. I'm going to use the jack pipe, that pretty much the jack pipe that comes with my jack, and you're going to slip that onto the ratchet right here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go counterclockwise, and that's going to push the tensioner down, and you're going to match up those little holes. You see that little hole right there, this thing right here at the edge, this one looking thing, my thumb is right over it, that thing right here. It's going to line up with another hole that looks exactly the same. I'm going to use an Allen key. The Allen key is going to go between it to hold that into place. What that does is it keeps the tensioner unloosened, and that allows you to slip off the belt. So I'm going to do that briefly, and I'm going to show you how it looks. Alright, so you see what I did? The Allen key's holding it in place. Now what you're going to do is, of course, remove the ratchet, because you don't want to let the ratchet fall down in there. Now that it's loose, now you're going to start slipping off the belt because it's loose. But try your best to remember how it looks. So if you guys can just briefly look and see, it goes down that way, it goes this way, It goes up and under. It's gonna be kind of hard to get this last part off right there because it goes under the wheel. There's a wheel on this tensioner, and you see how the grooves go there? It goes that way, comes up, and goes over. Comes over here to the, should be the AC compressor, I believe, or probably the AC compressor, I think, is assumed over here, and it goes around, okay? So you guys can take a best look and see. There's also diagrams online if you guys want to take a look. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to replace it. Now, also I want to add, the last engine bay I showed you was my Q50. Now, in the Q60, I believe this is the extra, maybe, I don't know exactly what this is for, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but this extra controller, it goes to some kind of electronic in here. It is in the way of me putting on, putting the ratchet on this thing and moving it, which means I would have to access it from the bottom. But there are two 10mm screws here, one here and one back here. You would need like either a very tall 10, and so you can get enough room to ratchet it or whatever. And this one too, you're gonna probably just use a 10mm wrench, open-ended wrench, or close right here to open this one up. I'm gonna do that briefly, and I don't think you're gonna need to unclip any of this stuff. I mean, I really wish I could do it without unclipping it, but I don't think I could be able to. But you know, we'll see. Now, this thing was a little hard to remove because I just used a regular open-ended wrench on this side, but the other side, I used extension, a small extension on a 10mm, and that was really hard to just move around. So I would recommend probably having to move this if you do have this mechanism there. If you don't, like the other Q50, then you don't have that issue. Anyway, so moving this out the way, now I get a bit more room to access this. I already told you guys what to do there. So hopefully this doesn't get in the way too much, but yep, let's get it started. Now this engine bay, I gotta tell you guys, is a little bit less space for your hand. The Q50, I do have some hands, but the Q50, I get enough space to put that, so I can put the wrench on with the 3-inch drive onto it. But this one, this is actually less space between there. So that will be annoying. Just want you guys to know that. I don't know if it's just maybe the radiator, the fans they use here, maybe the fans are different. But yeah, there's a little bit less space for wiggle room. But I'm gonna try to see if I can wiggle this one out. This belt, this one looks like it's gonna be a lot tighter than the last. I want you guys to see the difference. All right, so this is the belt that was on, the belt on the left was the one that was on the Q60 with 42,000 miles. The belt on the right was on the Q50 for about 2,000 miles. Look at the difference in the groove depth. This one was squeaking, and you see that it's going deeper and deeper and deeper to the grooves. If it keeps going deeper and deeper, it can go right through. This one isn't as deep. It has like some material, extra rubber in between the grooves. So this one slips, this one doesn't slip. It doesn't give you that noise. So just so you guys can know that if you don't change your belt, the one on the left will keep going. It will start to crack, and then it will separate. These ribs will separate, and this is why you guys lose your belts. All right. So I started by putting in this one first. You have to push it up and under. This is a really tight engine change. This is really tight. The Q50 is way easier than this one. This one I had to do a lot of it by hand and just by touch. But yeah, I'm gonna put that one in. My hands are so ashy, and then start connecting it. This side's gonna be a little harder, so I'm just gonna have to like push this one in and slide it across. But anyways, I was just fiddling with that for at least 5 minutes. So yeah, this one is a little harder, and make sure you do it on a cold engine. All right, don't do this on a hot engine because you will burn yourself. So I do recommend you guys moving this stuff back so that you can loop the belt on this side too. So just moving it back, and then this one's easy, a little easy, but I'm gonna be able to get it done. All right, so now I have the belt on, hopefully. So the last one I put on was this one. So I started off with the tensioner pulley, then I made my way around the crank itself to go around that. You see the orientation? Then I put it around this one. I had to move these canisters back over to this spot right here so I can get to these two over here because they sit like that. They don't, the it just goes right around both of them. See, you see how it doesn't like go between the two? And make sure you get the one with the AC compressor, or alternate, I think it's the AC compressor, a little bit. Make sure you get it in the grooves, because that one I was trying my best to get in the grooves. Then I came around here, and then I went down, and then that's when I did that one there, and then this one's the last one. So now, gonna have to unloosen all the tension off of the tensioner, and that's gonna allow it to go back up. So make sure everything sits properly. And I really wish I could just pull this out now, but it's actually going there kind of tight. It's on there kind of tight, so I really wish I could just pull it off, but let me see if I could do it. Yeah, it's on there pretty tight. Yeah, I would need a little bit of tension. All right, I'm gonna give that a shot. Let me see what happens. Everything looks like it's back on the proper grooves. So I'm gonna, well, make sure there's nothing. Matter of fact, I do have to plug in some stuff first. Let me plug in these sensors first, but then I'm gonna start the car. Because I'm gonna plug this in. I don't want it to get any random light because of that. But yeah, I'm gonna plug that in. I'm gonna start the car, but everything looked like it should be A-okay. All right, so you know what to do. Put this bolt back. Well, take out the wrench. Do not leave the ratchet down there. Do not. So I'm gonna take that out. But put this bolt back. I don't know if I'm gonna get this part back on, because that one is super hard to get back on. But I know I'm gonna get this one on. But that one, I may just leave that one. And, you know, put these back into the proper components, and then put the, back on, and that should be it. You're good to go. And you finally changed your belt. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was attacking this for about the Q50. I can do it in 15-20 minutes. This car, about 45 minutes, because it's not as much room for your hand to go in there because of these, and because of other stuff. It's just less room for your hand, so it was a lot harder. But anyways, outside of that, let me close it out. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.